And we are back for our final encounter on level 3. That's the last encounter in the whole Spire, the final boss. The most difficult one, and not the one that actually gains you the most. So that's all the things that you can get from that chest, like Moonstone Library, Genie, that's great, but you can get those in the regular bonus chests that popping up once in a while. Portal Profit 25, well, that's just ridiculous. Dwarven Armor is great, but again, you have to consider how much it's gonna cost you. But the important thing here, as you can see, there's a 45% chance of getting 125 diamonds. So what does that mean? That means that on average, and I emphasize on average, you can literally buy 2 extra turns with 25 diamonds each, so for 50 diamonds, to negotiate with this boss, and you will still be, on average, net positive on diamonds. So, and that's what absolutely you should do, because with 8 goods, it may take a very long time before you get it right. It's doable, I have done it, but I definitely don't want to put it on a video right now because it can be a long and quite frankly very frustrating experience, and realistically no one should be doing it this way simply because it's just not worth it. So extra 25 diamonds that you actually can recoup from this encounter will cost you a ton in resources, and it might not look as bad for the lower level city, especially if you have some fellowship sponsors that are bigger and can supply you with extra goods. But at higher levels, then the costs for negotiating in this boss would be very high. There's just no way you can continue doing it without buying extra diamonds, well, or fighting. So you're buying extra turns with diamonds, and that's partially the reason why the diamonds are here. So let's just get into it. So for this one, I'm definitely not planning to go all in on not using diamonds, because that would just be silly. So let's just start with all things that we have relatively cheap. Okay, as you can see, we already eliminated quite a few resources, and that's the thing, that's how you can get around this encounter, even though it looks quite ridiculous, like 8 resources comparing how hard 7 or 6 were. But the thing is, quite often you eliminate a ton of them in the very first attempt. And so that setup is not that much different than what we've seen before, like 4 into 5 slots on the second turn. So that's definitely doable without diamonds. It just probably not worth it because the costs are higher. So as such, yeah, let's just keep on going with double planks here. And the remaining ones we haven't tried before. And look at that, we only have 2 goods left, and some of them are fairly easy. So yeah, scrolls here, they have tried them, so that's going to be silk. We know that the scrolls are somewhere in there, at least in one of them, and we might as well, we don't know any better, so we might as well use in 2 of them, meaning we're gonna get at least one of them correct, and on the next attempt we're gonna get it right. Yeah, so you see, so now that is absolutely perfect time to do extra turn, no matter whatever you're trying not to do that. This is an excellent rally because you're only doing it in 1 turn. You know it's not going to take more than 25, and as I said, on average you're going to be getting more than 50 out of this encounter, so we're absolutely going to do that. And as you can see, as I said, we're guaranteed to get it. By the way, as I mentioned, we certainly could have gotten it right. That was literally 50-50 chance, which is pretty damn good for the final boss on the first attempt. But regardless, for 25 diamonds, the last boss, boom, that's it. It's done. And let's see what we're gonna get. And of course, yeah, you see, just when I said that on average you're gonna get more diamonds when you spend, yeah, you're gonna get this 25% portal profit from the last boss. That is the worst possible outcome here, but yeah, sometimes that happens. So again, I emphasize on average. So if you continue playing the Spire the same way, you will be net positive on diamonds, not necessarily on every single run. And with that, our Spire run is done. Let's just pick up the remaining chests. So what we're gonna get from here? 3 catalysts, not bad. And I have hopes for this one. That's a better chest. In before we get another 50% portal profit. Yep, we did. Aren't we lucky? But yeah, okay, I mean, on the first level, we did get a ton of great chests. We got a genie, we got a few buildings that are unfortunately not great for this city, but quite valuable. So in retrospect, the level 1 was by far, in this case, the best value in terms of the outcomes. But again, as I mentioned, going until the end of level 2 is not bad. It's actually what I would probably recommend if you have a well-established economy, even in low-level chapters, and you can afford to spend goods on a weekly basis that are required. You will get good stuff out of that, from diamonds to time boosts to, more importantly, some of the buildings that you can get easily, at least in any other way, like magic residences, magic workshops, genies, dwarven armors, and so on and so forth. Level 3, I personally wouldn't recommend for low-level cities, or actually any cities that for one reason or another are strictly negotiating, because the costs are very high. The value is just not there. You definitely, I would say, would want to do extra diamond turns to mitigate that, at least to some degree. Keep in mind that the run what we had here, while we did get a little bit stuck in some of the encounters here on level 3, that actually could be much worse. It's certainly not impossible to spend 10-15 turns on a single encounter if you don't do extra turns. It doesn't happen very often, but it may happen, and it's very frustrating, and you can blow through a ton of resources. So if you don't have well-established economy, either don't go here, spend diamonds when it's a good value, or just wait until you actually can fight in the Spire, because level 3 is not bad at all in high levels if you can do fighting. And hopefully I can show some of that in a later series for higher level or higher chapter city, the full run with fighting. But until then, this Spire run is done. So as I said, it can be done wherever it's worth it, or to what degree it's worth it for you, you can consider for yourself. That's relatively representative of how it would normally go. Some things went faster, some things went a little bit slower, some rewards were better, like on level 1, some rewards were worse than average, like we got a ton of portal profits on level 3, which made it a terrible value overall in this run, but that's how it works. So you can make a call for yourself, and I personally recommend going to level 2. Try to complete it. Don't touch level 3 until your fighting capabilities are more developed. And with that, yeah, if you like the video, please consider hitting this like button, subscribe for a channel for more content like that. Leave some feedback in the comments, what you like, what you didn't like, what you want to see more or less. And hopefully I'll see you next time. See ya.